Today, I want to talk about a massive social glitch that nobody really seems to want to admit: the death of personal accountability. See, we live in a world where people have completely lost the plot on how much of their life, specifically their financial life, is a direct result of their own actions, or their lack of actions. We need to talk about this dual truth of 2026 because everyone's sitting here complaining, but nobody's looking in the dang mirror. Look, two things can be true at once. Truth number one, the economy is difficult, right? Boomers completely ruin things. The housing prices, straight astronomical. And rent and mortgages are just eating people alive. I mean, everything from cars to groceries to life necessities. It's all become so much more expensive than it used to be. And that's a straight fact, right? We all see it in the grocery store. But here's the second truth that no one wants to admit and everyone seems to hate. Some of y'all are not holding your dang selves accountable. Because like I said, everything is insanely expensive, and I truly get that. But you've people out here spending 35, 40, 45% of their total income on straight entertainment and then complaining about the economy, talking about, bro, I'm just doing the bare minimum and I can barely afford my bills. Some of y'all are really out here in the big 2026 thinking the bare minimum is eating out 3 times a day and buying new clothes every 2 weeks. And then 3 to 4 times a year going to your favorite musicians' concerts. While weekly going out to, movies or bars or clubs and shit like that. Like, y'all really think it's the bare minimum to go spend $800 to $1,000 a month on pure entertainment and then complain that you have no money for savings or to invest. And then to make matters worse, I personally know men and women where one of them makes, 60, 70,000 a year. Decent amount of money, right? Well, their significant other makes another 50, 60, 70K a year. So look, I understand they're not buku rich, but 70K a year, that's a good living. So this couple makes 120, 140, 150K a year. And they're over here talking to me about how they're living paycheck to paycheck. Struggling to get by, how the economy's terrible. They don't know how anyone's surviving here. And I'm sitting here thinking, how in the world can a 2-person household struggle living paycheck to paycheck on $150,000 a year? Bro, this makes no sense at all. And you go look at their expenses and their lifestyle. Out here, both of them are driving insanely expensive new cars. They're renting a high-rise apartment for like $4,000 a month. And then they're going out to eat, 2 to 3 times a day and spending all this money on luxury goods and entertainment. Because look, I'm not saying stuff is not crazy expensive, but what I'm saying is, why do you need a luxury SUV? Why don't you just go get like a used sedan? Why don't you go buy a car in cash, an old used car in cash, rather than going out getting a $900 a month car payment? Because like I said, people think the bare minimum for survival is a lifestyle that used to be considered luxury. So like I mentioned, some of those people that are spending 35, 40% of their total income on entertainment, talking about I'm struggling. No, you're not struggling, bro. You're mismanaging your funds. You don't have to go eat restaurant food 4 days a week. You don't have to go out to eat fast food 2 to 3 times a day. You can go to the grocery store, you can learn how to cook, you can get a cheaper car, and then guess what? All that money that the government's basically robbing from you, yeah, it's gonna sting, it's gonna hurt, but what I'm saying is you'll be able to stack up a little more funds, you'll be able to go invest, you'll be able to have a little bit more money for yourself rather than blowing it all, paying it all to the bank, bro, so you can drive a better Honda. But the problem is, it's easier to blame the system for most people than it is to admit that you're addicted to a lifestyle you haven't even earned yet. Because if you're giving all your money to these corporations for some entertainment and status, do not tell me you're a victim of the economy, bro. Tell me you're a victim of your own lack of discipline. Because ultimately, the glitch is thinking that you can have everything now while still saving for a future later. It doesn't work that way. So some of y'all need to stop calling your luxuries necessities and start taking some self-accountability. That's really the only way the math is gonna change.